Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days, but the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion!
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric.
Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad in my camp.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Things are heating up, that's for sure. We found this opportunity, and we're working for it.
My man.
Tulsa King. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
You need a hug?
You need a fist?
Crutch.
Crutch.
Crutch, you need anything. I do have one question. We didn't mean right now.
Being a cadet in Starfleet Academy means being open to the people around you.
I've spent my whole life getting away from stuff, letting someone in. That's hard.
I want to be captain. I need to be captain.
I owe you something. It is coming just for you.
Coming up on Scoreline, we'll recap a shocking day at the World Cup. In Group G, group favorites Belgium found themselves in a battle against Mohamed Salah and Egypt. The biggest shocker of the day was in Group H as the betting favorites to win the World Cup. Spain hit a wall against the Cinderella story of the tournament so far, Cabo Verde. And of course, we'll bring you some news breaking around the world of football, including a World Cup manager losing his job after just one game. Welcome into Scoreline, presented by BetMGM, alongside USMNT legend Jermaine Jones, former Sierra Leone international Mike LaHood. I am Stefano Fusaro. What a day, boys. What a day we had at the World Cup today. You looked at the schedule, maybe some casuals would have said, maybe some games that aren't that interesting. Holy hell, did we have some fun watching these football games today. And none was more fun, I think, than the one we just finished watching in Iran against New Zealand. Mike, I want to start with you. This match, I mean, it really left us floored. The quality of football, how wide open it was, how entertaining it was between these two sides, ending in a 2-2 draw. But you have to expect that you didn't really think that maybe we'd get this type of performance from these two teams, but it was incredible.
Yeah, I think it's really a lesson to some of the other teams at this World Cup in what playing with freedom looks like. But also, these are two sides playing for different causes. When you look at New Zealand, they're playing for respect. It's their third ever World Cup appearance. Their last World Cup appearance, I think, was in 2010, when Chris Wood was part of that team. But when you look at Iran, this meant something more. We saw a spirit of a fighter. We saw a team that was united, and we saw a fan base in the Southern California area that was behind the team. So I really liked what I saw from both sides, and the points were equally shared.
What were your thoughts on this? We talked about before the show. You were back in New Zealand in this one. Both teams really played a good brand of football, showing fight, really. What were your thoughts on what you saw from both of these sides in this match?
I think it was an interesting game because, like I said, I had New Zealand as favor, but then when I look at Iran too, with the situation they're in and the whole situation what's happening, I just can say it and turn it around and say this is why we all love this game, right? Because you were able to see guys that came here with amazing support, but then how they played. The game himself, and I always say that the game speaks louder than everything else. And when you see after they scored the goals, the happiness, they're laughing, they're happy to be on the field to play with each other and supporting each other in play for something bigger than just football. So and I just was pleased with the game from both sides. We talked about it before, complete different styles. The Iranis try to play attacking football, take players on 1-1. And New Zealand was playing a little bit more straightforward in trying to get their goals. And like you guys both said, I think to finish this day with this game, we can be pleased.
Absolutely. Let's talk first about New Zealand. Obviously, we had Elijah Just getting a brace for New Zealand in this match. A fantastic performance from him. We talked a lot about Chris Wood. Wasn't in the goals today, but still played a very big part in assisting and getting just in front of goal to be able to score that brace for New Zealand.
Well, first of all, congratulations to Elijah Just. He becomes the first ever Motherwell player to score at a World Cup. So big ups to him. But this is all about Chris Wood for me. Just gets the goals. And you really saw, Jermaine, what we were looking at when we did the tactical about Chris Wood and his positional awareness. But I think today we saw a technical ability that he doesn't get enough credit for. The assists that he has, his balance that he has, his technique to corral the ball, caress it, and then find the open man. If you're New Zealand, if you're McCallum, two young players who are going to come in and support, you're going to get your opportunities. Now it's about being clinical. And when you look at Chris Wood and what he's meant as an ambassador for football for the All Whites, you go back to 2010. You and I both know players who were part of that 2010 team. Simon Elliott, a teammate of mine, he was telling me about a young Kiwi coming through the ranks that we need to keep an eye on, and that guy was Chris Wood. And watching him today, there were times, I'm not just going to say this because it's an overstatement, but I really, really believe this. Watching him today, there were times where he was dropping in the half spaces, picking up the ball, and just hitting diagonals out wide, setting up teammates that reminded me literally of Harry Kane, what he does for Bayern Munich. I'm not saying he's at the Harry Kane level, but the similarity in how he functions for New Zealand reminded me very much what Harry Kane means to Bayern Munich.
Yeah, and I agree completely. When you look at it, especially with his size, we talked about his size. He's more, you will think, that he's somebody who comes late to the box and he's strong with the body. But then, like you said, he drops deep. He takes the other players into his game. It's not just that he's standing in front and waiting that they cross the balls and he's there to finish him. So he's involved in the game. He's always dropping deep. He's getting balls. He passes balls forward. He opens spots. That's something important too. Like if you play as a number 9, you always have to find a way to get connected to the guys behind you that they always can slide forward. And in there, today was it just that he had always a chance to come forward and use this space is what Wood was opening for him.
Yeah, I mean, and you mentioned his balance. I mean, as we look here at the New Zealand ratings for the players, a 6.9 there for Chris Wood. And you talk about his balance, Mike. He's 6'4", he's 34 years old. This isn't a spring chicken, this isn't a small guy. And he's still able to have that balance and able to go, like you said, come deep, play the ball, and actually play football. And I think that that's a huge part in unlocking the rest of the players like we did see tonight. And that is maybe a recipe for New Zealand to get their first win ever at a World Cup. Came close tonight, but could still get it going forward in this group.
One player that in the first half I thought was thriving with that, and we were asking what would Sarpreet Singh, the number 10, the attacking midfielder, what would his role be? New Zealand looked at their best when Singh was playing off Chris Wood's shoulder, just like we saw with Just and McCallett. He needs to be consistent for New Zealand to get their points and get 3 points. They got a point today, obviously. But I liked what I saw. I liked the back and forth from the All Whites. Now it's about putting away your opponents. They had chances to put this Iranian side away. They didn't take them. Full credit to Iran for showing resilience to get back in the game and get something out of this game.
Quickly on Iran, obviously we talked about Taremi being the leader of this team, the captain of this team. We have to mention today that Rezaian gets the assist and the goal from that right back position. What a performance from him, Jermaine, as far as getting on the end of balls and being able to participate in both goals.
Yeah, it's I think the whole team from Iran played I would say an attractive soccer. It's fun to watch. Yeah. You know, I would say that it's fun to watch as a fan. The best part was there's two different teams, two different countries in two different styles. In Iran, he played even the second goal. When you look at the cross, you know, coming late to the box, in coming between the guys, and then the clean header. It shows you that they have guys in their squad who can play really good soccer.
It was a fantastic affair, 2-2 to end the day here on the 5th day of the World Cup. We're going to take a quick break here on Scoreline. When we return, we're talking about another great match. It was Belgium and Egypt facing off.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon? When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready? Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion!
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Can you handle it?
A crowd here feels electric.
Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the point of here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Welcome back to Scoreline, presented by BetMGM. The other match in Group G was a fantastic affair between Belgium and Egypt. Belgium, of course, coming in as a favorite, but Egypt really played them off the pitch in the first half. The match ended in a 1-1 draw. A good result, you would say, for Egypt, but the goalkeeper, Mustafa Shobar, he had different thoughts.
We missed a lot of chances. We could score more, we could have the 3 points and go back to Spokane. But at the end, you play against big national team, of course, big name Belgium. And it's a very important point in this group stage, I think, yes. I don't know, but I think that, like you said, we dominated the game from the first half. We could continue also to score the second goal and then secure ourselves. But at the end, this is football, it can happen. And again, we don't want to miss that we play against big name. So it's a good thing.
For me, that reaction from the goalkeeper signals that they're not happy with the draw, that they felt that there was more for them. They felt that they should have won this game. And you would say Egypt happy with a 1-1 draw, taking on the group favorites in Belgium. But that goes to show you where their mentality is, that they thought they could have won this game and maybe taken all 3 points. You know, we talk about this national team for Egypt, and yes, it's Mohamed Salah, it's Omar Marmoush. But, Mike, the goal scorer for you was the standout player in Imam Ashur. What would you think about him?
Yeah, Stefano, he's a player I've been following for quite some time. He plays his football at Al Ahly, one of the major clubs in Egyptian football. And we got to see glimpses of him at the Club World Cup, but where I really saw him shine, remember the Africa Cup of Nations? Mm-hmm. Remember the match against Cote d'Ivoire? He stole the show. He had 2 assists in that game, and he was playing as a midfielder, as the number 10 in that match. But today we saw his versatility, and we didn't see a difference in his quality, though. His ability to make something happen out of nothing. He was listed as a wide player. He gave a lot of effort on both sides of the ball, but the quality in the final third, the confidence to go at players. There were times where he had Thomas Munir chasing shadows, almost backpedaling towards his own goal. And I thought Thomas Munir was poor on the day. And it's down to Ashur. And I think he typifies this newfound confidence in this Egyptian side, because when we saw Egypt coming out of AFCON, I had a very, very low opinion of their performances. I don't care how far they got. They were not convincing. The Egyptian public had a lot of questions about their manager, Hossam Hassan. This is a big step forward in renewing that faith. Now it's taking the next step and getting 3 points in the next match.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how they come out of this game where, again, they felt that they played good enough to get all 3 points. On the other side, Jermaine, Belgium, you would have to say, were the lesser side in this match until they got their goal, and that was right after Romelu Lukaku. Lukaku comes on the pitch. He plays a huge part in the goal, ends up being an own goal, but it's on him why that ball ends up in the back of the net. Where do you think that Belgium takes this now? Because they started without Lukaku on the pitch, started De Catalare. Jeremy Doku looked extremely frustrated prior to Lukaku coming into the match. Where do Belgium have to go from here? What do you want to see from their manager and their tactics? What needs to change?
I think we have to see a different Belgium in that, I mean, in the way that you have to play Lukaku. I think that he has to play because that gives you the freedom for Doku on the outside and to get his 1-against-1s. And that we saw it against the US. We saw it more than once when he does it in the Premier League. But today you were able to see that when Egypt, the chance had always to slide somebody over to cover their defensive player, then he had always a 2-against-1. He got frustrated because he had not the chance to go take the player 1-against-1. He had to always play the ball back. And with the switch then and Lukaku coming in, alone, even when you see that he's a classic striker. Lukaku comes in, the ball goes out, he straight goes into the box, and even if it's an own goal, but you have to be there to push the defender to make that own goal. So, and I think you will see a different face from Belgium, and I think they know they have to step it up, and pretty sure they will.
Yeah, I mean, Doku comes into this match, Lahu comes into this tournament really as, okay, this is the next superstar for Belgium that's going to carry the next generation, right? This is a team that has some veterans, has some younger players, and it's maybe a transitional World Cup for them. So what does Rudy Garcia now have to do with the personnel, with the players, and the performance that you saw today? What does Rudy Garcia need to do to motivate this team, to get them to play at the level that they expect?
I think sometimes managers, and Jermaine, you've been here at a World Cup, and I remember this playing internationally as well. sometimes managers have to make bold decisions and make changes to just give a little shock value and shock factor in this national team. One player that I'm concerned about for Belgium is Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne has been one of the greatest midfielders we've ever seen in Premier League history. Today, he looked like he couldn't even be a League One player. I know that's harsh, but at times, he looked that level. And Kevin De Bruyne has gone through a lot of injuries. He's gone through a lot of personal things, a lot of ups and downs. But this is Kevin De Bruyne we're talking about. This is arguably Belgium's greatest ever footballer in the history of the national team. And I just wonder if at a certain point, if De Bruyne doesn't show up the next match, Jermaine, do you go with Jan Van Aken? Van Aken has proved himself in the Champions League with Club Brugge. He's got more mobility. He seemed to have more of a connection with Lukaku when he came in. And I would like to see that balance maybe if you don't go Van Aken. What about the boy that plays, I think, for Lille in Fernandes Pardo? He has a bit more mobility, a bit more guile. So there's some options there. It's not just De Bruyne or bust anymore for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you. I think the most important thing is, like, yes, they all achieved amazing things for Belgium, right, in their careers. But at the toughest point as a coach, at one point, you have to make the decision, are you going younger? Let you put him out. In how they're accepting being out, especially at the World Cup. And like you said, Kevin De Bruyne, he was never the fastest player, but he was somebody who had that killer instinct to play the last ball. So maybe the coach was like, maybe he has it still. Maybe he can do it on the highest level. Today he was proven, or got proven, that maybe it's not there anymore. And we talked about it a lot of times today. The game changed. It's a transition game. And I think that was never De Bruyne's game. So his game was always to get the ball in the pocket, turn open, and then find the last ball. So, and if you don't come to that position anymore that you be able to play this balls, then it gets maybe struggled because you have to get in the running game. You have to run back. You have to recover in going forward. And I think that's right now, yeah, tough one for the coach. But sometimes, like you said, you have to, take the hit as a coach and make tough decisions.
I mean, that's what they pay the big bucks, right, for the managers, because you got to make those tough decisions. KDB also came close. He hit the post on a free kick as well to impacting the game a bit. But when you're talking about the performance as a whole, it's not the KDB that we've come to grow and love watching play football. We're going to take a quick break here on Scoreline. When we return, we'll talk about players that were frustrated. The entire Spanish team was pretty frustrated this afternoon.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me.
Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events.
It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And we live the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Tell me, can you handle it?
A crowd hit.
feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Welcome back to Scoreline, presented by BetMGM. The biggest shocking result of the day is Spain not being able to score a goal, and it's a 0-0 draw between Spain and Cabo Verde. Cabo Verde quickly becoming the early Cinderella story of this World Cup, getting that point. Let's listen in now to Cabo Verde manager Bubista.
This means everything for our country, especially. We have always said that we wanted everybody to see our country, our team, and we have shown organization and braveness, and this is proof of what our country is about. Resilience, and to try and overcome hardships. Well, he was overwhelmed with emotion. He is quite an experienced player, and he struggled throughout all of these years to be here at this world stage. It was also a cry of resilience, proof of that. I think that the team was quite well in terms of defensive organization.
Como é que eu posso dizer? Nunca se precipitou tanto em termos defensivos. Daí que
he dared a lot in defensive terms, so I want to congratulate my team, and we want to do more during this campaign.
Incredible stuff here. So let's look in. Who is Bubista, the manager of Cabo Verde? Led the nation to World Cup qualification. He qualified automatically. He finished first in the group ahead of Cameroon. Became the manager in January of 2020. He played center back for the national team of Cabo Verde. He captained for 11 years as a player. So we'll get into the disappointment for Spain, but we need to talk about Cabo Verde because it really is an incredible story. What it means for this country, really what it means, this story means, it really does. It shows what the World Cup is truly all about. Talk to me about this result, about this manager, and about this team and that performance that they had against the betting favorites in this World Cup.
Well, Stefano, before I get to Bubista, I just want to address something about World Cup expansion. I know there's people that sit on different sides of the fence, and this is why you have an expanded format. Because if you didn't, then you would miss out on some of the most amazing stories there is in the world's game. This is the biggest story at the World Cup right now. Is Cabo Verde going up against the joint favorite at the World Cup and shocking the entire world. And Bubista is the architect of it. I've been tracking Cabo Verde, and I know there's some people who say that for cheap fun and try to sound like they're experts, but my first international training camp was against Cabo Verde, so I've actually been in the country, and I've seen them and the growth of football in the country, and it's just gone from strength to strength. But what they're doing at the World Cup, Jermaine, is the stuff of dreams. I go back to how they qualified for the World Cup. There was this sense of resilience that Bubista talked about, but also this shift in mindset. What Cabo Verde is doing, I think, is a sample size of a shift in mindset that's happening all across the African continent. African teams right now at the World Cup, or African teams coming out of Africa, they don't fear European footballers. They don't fear European football. They don't care what it says on the badge. They just want to play, and they just want to make a statement. Today was a hell of a statement for me.
Yeah, you know, for me, I look at it this way, and I say, Bubista, it's because I'm in the coaching side now, and I'm thinking, what do you do if you look at and you know, oh, I'm playing today against Spain? You start thinking, because that's a strong team, 7, 8 players from Barcelona. You know that there will be a lot of stuff coming. But still then to create a team that they believe in that situation, that they can take something out of this game in going forward and then going into this game. For me, it's not just the goalkeeper, the big winner with that he gets out of the followers. And I think it was 50,000 to 5 million followers in a couple hours. So I wish the coach had Instagram too, because I believe he had a lot of followers too.
He'd be at 10 million, you're saying?
He will be around 10 million, because it is a big part. And I say it's tough, because I tell you what, why I say that. I always say in the attacking part is the game changer, but the players do their own decisions, because you cannot control it. But whatever happens I always say in zone 2 or zone 1, it's the coach who sets up the team, how you play with the ball and how you go against the ball. So, and you have to take the hat from this coach that with the team he has, with the whole story in himself, what he created was history today.
We gotta get Bubista on the phone. We need to make an Instagram account for him. We need to get this going. We need to get him his followers as well. We're gonna check in on Vozinha's Instagram account a little bit later in the show. Let's get into Spain, because again, for as happy and incredible story it is for Cabo Verde, for Spain, there's some alarms sounding right now after this result. Of course, still plenty of time to turn this around. We've seen this before. They lost their first game in 2010 and went on to win the World Cup. Argentina did the same thing in 2022. But you looked at this performance, Mike. What were your thoughts? What went wrong? And what needs to change here? Because it really was a woeful performance for Spain, especially that front three right there that you're seeing, Gavi and Torres, and of course, Oyarzabal.
I think watching Spain as a whole, and that's from minute 1 to minute 90, there was a bit of arrogance with the way they played. It was almost as if they took this game for granted, and I really think it showed in some of the decision-making, some of the lack of intensity. That was the big thing that I see the difference between Cabo Verde and the Spanish players. There was no intensity, and you don't see that with Spain. They won the European Championship because they had just this well-oiled machine of they could pass you to death, yes, but they had this killer instinct in the final third. Now, 2 players that are a big part of that, Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams, they came in later. They had a small sample size of minutes. But now I'm worried for Spain, if anything happens to those 2 players, especially Lamine Yamal, where do they go from there? Watching them, it was as if they're a luxury vehicle without an engine. They go from a V12 engine, revving as high as possible when they're fully fit. Then they down to a V6, looking ordinary. Spain looked ordinary today. It has to be said.
Are you worried about this team and about what you saw today? Obviously, Lamine Yamal, you just mentioned Lamine Yamal. There was, some rumors that he wasn't going to start this game because they're resting him, because maybe not taking Cabo Verde seriously. We were told Luis de la Fuente said that that's the amount of minutes he could play coming off of an injury. So that's why he doesn't get into the game. Are you concerned, though, being that Lamine maybe not fully fit and some of these players maybe not at their peak level right now? Is there concern? Because obviously this team is expected to compete for this World Cup.
I wouldn't say I'm concerned. I would say Lamine Yamal is the key player, and they need him on the field. They need him from the beginning. And I'm pretty sure after this result today, I'm pretty sure that we will see him, that he will be back on the field from the beginning. But the same way we praised Cape Verde, we have to say what we saw from Spain, it's not enough. So if you show a face like that, it's just not enough. So if we can talk about it, was it too arrogant that you were looking and said, oh, we playing against a country, most players, when you asked them, maybe they would not even know where the other team or other players played. But if you had that mindset, and that's the reason why you got that result today, then you have a problem. Then as a coach, that's opposite from the coach from Cape Verde, you have to get your team real quick in check. That you can tell them, look, if we go out there again and we present us like that, we will be out of this tournament sooner than we think. But if we talk about the collective, the team, the quality in the team, we talked about it. This is Barcelona. Realize they have no I don't think one player from Real Madrid. Yeah. So it's a team they already know how to play. They played with each other over the whole seasons already. So now it's just the time to respect the opinion, who you're playing against, and go out there and try your best. And I think we all know that Spain has a good team, but it has to click.
It seems like this needs to be the wake-up call for Spain, this 0-0 draw against Cabo Verde. We're going to take a quick break here on Scoreline. Much more coming up on the other side of this break.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here. Now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And we live the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Welcome back to Scoreline, presented by BetMGM. Club news, it doesn't stop just because the World Cup is kicked off. So luckily, we got you covered here on Scoreline. 48 Nations, we even got a newspaper headline for you. The daily news. Let's get into it. We start with a nation that's not at this tournament, but they wish they were. Italy, where Maurizio Sarri has been appointed the new head coach of Atalanta. The carousel of Serie A continues following his departure from Lazio. Atalanta will be the fifth Serie A club that Sarri has coached after spells at Empoli, Napoli, Juventus, and Lazio. He has also managed at Chelsea in the 2018-19 season, winning the Europa League. Lazio finished ninth in the 25-26 season, 5 points behind Atalanta in the final Serie A European qualification places. To Northern England we go. Manchester City defender Josko Gvardiol is set to sign a new contract at the club. Gvardiol has attracted interest from other top European sides, but has reportedly chosen to stay in Manchester. The Croatia international was limited to 25 appearances in all competitions during the 25-26 campaign after fracturing the tibia in his right leg in January, sidelining him for 4 months. He's expected to be a key piece for the Croatia side that will open their World Cup on Wednesday, none other than against England. Now, if you thought that coaches couldn't get fired during the tournament, yeah, think again. Tunisia has just sacked manager Sabri Lamouchi after the 5-1 loss to Sweden last night. Lamouchi was appointed in January, but his position was already in danger before the start of the tournament. The former France international faced criticism for poor results and several controversial calls ahead of the tournament, most notably leaving out experienced players such as Ferjani Sassi and Yassine Maraya. They have more than 200 international caps, and he left them on the bench. This is a crazy situation. We've seen this situation before, ironically, with Tunisia, but we've seen that at tournaments, you always have a team that has some turmoil, some drama. What do the players do in this situation, Lahoud? Because they're going into this tournament. Obviously, the first game didn't go well, but what is the message that the Federation is sending them to sack the coach after one game, and now you're bringing in a new coach to try to get them through the group stage?
Yeah, I really feel for the players in this moment because it seems as if they're stuck between a rock and a hard place, and that rock and hard place is the Federation. The Federation is ruining Tunisian football, and I'll put myself out there and repeat, Tunisian Footballing Federation is ruining Tunisian football. And when you look at the growth of the game in some of the neighboring countries, Morocco, they are the standard bearers right now on the African continent. Egypt just got a massive result against Belgium. Algeria could get a result against Argentina. Stefano, looking at you when I say that. But Tunisia, I just fear that as long as there's chaos with the Federation impeding, reported that they're making decisions, they're influencing lineups, that's not good for football, let alone the Tunisian national team. In comes in Hervé Renard, and I know you know him just from your times in different circles. Reportedly, in comes in Hervé Renard to say, it's not getting ahead of myself. But if he's the manager that they get, if he's the coach that they get, they're not just getting someone, they're getting someone who's a big personality, and you need a big personality in that locker room.
But Jermaine, this is a team that's been preparing for this moment for several months at this point. How can a team react so quickly to what will be a full change of style, of tactics, and maybe even personnel?
But I would go back because I would go on something you said. He let two key players out. So we don't know how much that played a role too, that he was fired. Because it's not just the result that he lost 5-1. What makes it clearly, it's not good for a coach if you lose that high. But the coach was part of it, bringing them here. So, but now you have to ask questions like, why is he getting in the tournament fired? Because, like you said, it's difficult for players, and you know that too. It's like you're sitting there in the locker room, you're going like, what is going on? Like, and now who's this guy? And because you build over time a relationship even with the coach, even if you like him or you don't like him. But you build a chemistry. The team builds a chemistry because it's a style of play he wants to play and an idea of how you want to play. And now everything changes. You have no time to try. So that the new coach who comes in, even I will have a lot of respect for the coach who comes in and says, I take that, because what do? You come in and you continue with that, what was there in how they played, or you completely changing the style of play, you putting new players in. It will be interesting to see, but like you said, it's always something. In especially with there's, if it's Tunisian, Egyptian, or Nigeria, or Senegal, there's always something. So if you will go just back to the soccer, I think they have all amazing quality, and they just have to bring that to the field and let the football talk for themselves.
Well said. We talk about, obviously, this Tunisian African side is dealing with this. The best story of the day is also with an African team, and it's Cabo Verde. And we already mentioned him, but Vozinha, what a player. The man of the match for Cabo Verde. Just incredible save after incredible save. Standout performance. And guys, he started the day with 50,000 Instagram followers. It's time for our check on Vozinha. 5.1 million followers in what, 12 hours? It is incredible what has happened to this player, and you love to see it. But the exponential growth of this player right now on a world stage, this is the thing that you can only see at a World Cup.
It's incredible. It's incredible. It's,
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. We're at CBS. It's the home of the NFL. For any NFL fans out there, he has more followers than the Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson, who was the most valuable player in that league just a couple of years ago.
Wow.
So just to go to show you what this sport, how big our sport is. Talk about the NFL being big. This sport is where it's at. And Vozinha now at 5 million followers after starting the day at 50K.
He's become an overnight celebrity.
Oh, yeah.
That's what the World Cup can do. That's what football can do. And he's definitely earning a lot of fans on social media. But I think the three of us and everyone here at the network became fans of him. Outstanding display. He's now a cult hero. He's a national hero and a cult hero.
And now they will be playing against Uruguay. And hey, this group is wide open right now. Everybody in the group with 1 point after match day 1. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to be previewing the matches for Tuesday coming up.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. With the entire nation hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here. Now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies. Now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Tell me, can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad would want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Welcome back to Scoreline, presented by BetMGM. Tuesday, some big matches. Both finalists from the last World Cup, France and Argentina, in action. They will start with France and Senegal. What a match that will be from New Jersey, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Then we'll have Erling Haaland and Norway taking on Iraq. And then, of course, Lionel Messi taking the pitch for Argentina in their opening match. Not an easy one against Algeria. Our coverage continues here on Tuesday as well of the World Cup. We have morning footy early, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Then, of course, Golazo Match Day, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Golazo Match Night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And, of course, Scoreline, 11 p.m. Eastern Time as we wrap up the entire day of the World Cup. All right, it is time, because we talked about the games. Now you know the schedule. I want to know the bets from my man, John Buckets Imer. But before we get your bets and before we talk about your record as of late, if you would have bet draw, $10 on a draw in every match today, just $10, you would have won $6,500. How about that? Sometimes you look at that and you say, man, betting is stupid. Just like that. You might look at that and say, wow. Because if you bet Spain, Cape Verde draw, you are a crazy man or woman. So, buckets, are we going to bet draw in every match tomorrow and make a ton of money? Is that what we're going?
Man, that's the kind of thing people will send me after a long day and be like, Buckets, why did you not just do this? It would have been easy. That was not an easy call. Don't tell me that people knew Spain and Cape Verde would tie. I'm not doing draws tomorrow, but maybe we should at this point. Earlier on the shows on Morning Footy, I was told that the nations with the most bird species are the ones that are winning. So everyone's got a different strategy to betting. I guess draws can work out for you.
I love that. Buckets, talk to me though, man. You've been crushing it so far for us here. We got a list here of your wins so far in this World Cup, but it's been a great run here for you to start this tournament. Look at that. Look at all those wins, my man. If you're following our boy Buckets, you're feeling a little rich right now.
Yeah, no, we're having a good time, but when you're having a good time and hitting all these bets, that's when you really want to remind people you got to bet responsibly, because just because today went well or yesterday went well, it doesn't mean tomorrow is also going to go well. So you always got to be careful when you're betting on these games, but I still have 3 wagers for you guys for tomorrow's games. You ready for these?
Let's go. Talk to me.
All right, let's do it. We're one for each game, starting with Iraq taking on Norway. I'm going with Norway to not just win, but have a big and scary win. I got Norway over 2.5 goals by themselves at plus 105. I am terrified of Holland. Terrified. He might score 3 by himself, but go ahead and give me Odegaard, Sorloth, Nusa. This team is going to be a nightmare in the group stage. I think they win by at least 3 goals in this opening match. Then France, Senegal. This is going to be an exciting one, but it's going to be a cagey one. You got to be careful. Just because it's France, kind of like we saw with Spain today, doesn't mean we're automatically going to get a ton of goals. But I'm a Bayern Munich fan. The Bavarian boys are my boys, so I'm going with Michael Olise to have an assist in this match at plus 150. We saw what he could do with Bayern Munich when he has Lucho Diaz, when he has Harry Kane. Well, now he's got Kylian Mbappe and Ousmane Dembele around him. He is going to be dishing the ball off every chance he gets. Expect him to get plenty of goal contributions across this competition. Then for the final bet, Argentina taking on Algeria. Going with a scary same game parlay here. I'm a very greedy man. I like betting on goals. I don't like draws. I don't like nil-nils, but I've got to go with an under on this one. I'm going with Argentina on the money line and under 3.5 goals at minus 110. Algeria is a very cagey side. They play a very low block and they frustrate their opponents. They have only conceded once in their last 8 games. They are going to try to keep this as close for as long as they can. And I'm predicting actually a 1-0 Argentina win here with a late goal from either Messi or Alvarez if he's fit. But I think that one's going to be a lot closer than people are expecting.
That's a good shout, Buckets. Argentina, if you saw them during qualifying, it was a lot of unders. It was a lot of 1-0, 1-1 type games for the majority of their qualification. Love that. Also, how is Olise plus money to get an assist? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Crazy? Him to score or assist is almost plus money, which might be another way to take that. But I mean, you got to take assists. And I want to shout out real quick, Jermaine Jones, anytime we have a show, I tweet out the link and I'm like, hey, come grab some bets. Multiple people, because of you, took Chris Wood to score or assist, which was plus money in that New Zealand game. So thank you for that,
Jermaine. Making people money here at the Golazo Network. I love it. Jermaine Jones. Buckets, thanks so much for joining us. Good luck with your bets. We're going to get them in. Hopefully get some more wins.
Absolutely. Good night, guys.
I love that. Look at that. Look at Jermaine Jones already betting analyst over here for the Golazo Network.
Moneybags Jones, man, making people money.
All right, let's talk about these games tomorrow because there's some fun ones for sure. Jermaine, for you, what's your game to watch of those 3 that we just saw there? What's your game you're most excited about going into tomorrow?
Like I said, I'm really looking forward for France against Senegal. That's the game, and I think with Bahid already, what he said, the quality you have on the French side. And then the surpriseness, you don't know what you get from Senegal. So in put that all in the mix, I think it would be an open game. I think you always don't, like I said, you always get for the first game. I remember back in the days when you looked at the Senegal games and when I went out to dance and all that stuff. And I think tomorrow we can see a surprise.
Yeah, it'll be fun because Senegal, they got a chip on their shoulder coming after what's happened at AFCON, and they want to strip them of that trophy. And they're coming to prove something in this game. And this France side, with that talent, Senegal, with their heart and spirit and fight, it should be a very fun game. But you're going for another one for what you're watching tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm going for the dark horse of this competition, the Norwegians. And not just because their fans do that. Oof. Oof. I love that. I know some people have differing opinions on it.
Great.
But Erling Haaland's first World Cup. We know he scores the goals in the Premier League, but now it's about translating the goals on the biggest stage in football. He's not going to do it alone, though. One player to keep an eye out for, Antonio Nusa. What a player he is. He's going to go for some big money. I know you know him in the Bundesliga. A lot of people raving about him at Leipzig. My question is, will Leipzig keep hold of him after this summer?
I don't think so. I think if that's the best, right? Like if you come like with Norway, and then you're a young player and you get now yet the possibility to shine in this tournament, I think it will be tough for him to stay. And I'm pretty sure when he can bring the quality he showed week for week in the league, then first of all we will see an amazing Norway because him compared with Haaland, but I think it will be almost impossible to hold him.
It's going to be a really interesting day. We didn't even, no one cares which game I care about the most. The one I care about the most is Argentina and Algeria as the World Cup champions are trying to go back-to-back one more time, but we'll talk about that at another time. One more time here on our Tuesday morning footy, 10 a.m. Eastern time. Of course, 2 p.m. Eastern, we'll have Golazo match day as we get you ready for the first match of the day. Golazo match night as we get you ready for that final match, that Argentina match against Algeria. And, of course, we'll wrap up the entire day of World Cup action on Scoreline, 11 p.m. Eastern time. What a day it was at the World Cup. Of course, if you are following the Cup, make sure you follow our coverage as we got you covered from A to Z on 2026 World Cup here in North America. For James Jones, for Michael Hood, I'm Stefano Pissarro. Have a great night.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the US?